everybody. It's about 8:15 in the morning, which isn't that early, but we've been camping on Bodmin Moor, wild camping, and now we've got up and we're going to walk up Rough Tor here. Rough Tor is absolutely stunningly gorgeous, and it actually looks like it's pronounced Rough Tor because it's R-O-U-G-H. But one of our builders told us once that no, it's not Rough Tor, it's Rough Tor if you're a local. So here we are on Rough Tor. It's not nearly as nice weather as we thought it would be, but it's beautifully empty. There's only one other car in the car park. I don't think we'll see anybody today.
Call it off, let it go.
Rough Tor is actually owned by the Forestry Commission. And often you can see horses grazing here, cattle, sheep, and in the summer you need to be very careful if you have a dog because there's a lot of ground nesting birds, so they do ask that from about March to July your dog is on a lead. There's been an awful lot of rain here recently, as you can see from this stream, despite the fact we've still got a water shortage here in Cornwall. But yes, it is very wet underfoot at the moment.
I won't be coming back again a second time. Can't take it back. Everything you've done, you know youth is wasted on the young. We still don't know.
For the literary lovers amongst you, from the top of Brown Willie and Rough Tor, actually you can see Jamaica Inn as well, which is a very famous book by Daphne du Maurier, a thriller really, very exciting book. In the book, Jamaica Inn is the centre of the smuggling that goes on, which is presided over by the vicar of Altarnan, which is another local village. It looks beautiful when you come through it too.
Setting off, time to go. Engines running, we're on our own. Running on an endless road.
It's about a mile from the car park to the top of Rough Tor. It is all obviously uphill on the way there, but that does mean it's all downhill on the way back, which is great. But it doesn't actually seem that steep, which is nice.
I see the light behind your eyes is fading now. Can't take it back. Everything you've done.
So Roger and I were having a conversation about how these bits of granite were formed into tors. And being a geography student in many years ago, I do know that this is because the granite was the hardest stone in the area. So basically all the other softer rocks around were eroded and the granite was left standing proud. And the granite is still here now because it is so strong and so hard. And the other thing is that as we come round here, you can see there are these are called sort of pancake rocks, these stacks of rocks which are standing out amongst all the other bits, and that is where the layers of granite, the bits between the rocks have been eroded. You can see there's kind of gaps in between the rocks. That's where that's been the soft sand and the soil has been eroded from around them, and the granite is there as the bit that hasn't been eroded.
Done. You know youth is wasted on the young. Still
The trees on Bodmin Moor generally are not native species. There's quite a lot of pine forests planted. That's probably for logging reasons, and now they've sort of become part of the landscape. But the natural moor here would have had stunted trees and bushes on it originally, which have been obviously taken out and used for firewood over the years, and the pine trees have replaced them.
call it off.
Welcome to the top of Rough Tor. Well, nearly the top. We went up to the top. It was so windy. There was nowhere we could do any videoing up there. So we've tried to find somewhere a little bit more secluded. And behind me over here is Brown Willy. That's the highest point in Cornwall. You can't really see it because it's a bit shrouded in mist, but it is lovely. And apparently from the top of Rough Tor on a clear day, you can see the coast. You can see the sea on both coasts. Sadly, we couldn't see that today. But we did see Crowdy Reservoir on the other side of that Davidstow airfield where we camped last night. But it is gorgeous up here, despite the fact that it's not a very nice day. And as I said earlier, it's so quiet and peaceful, it's beautiful.
This is the end, a bitter end, a bit of heaven. So much we said, so much bullshit, I'm much better off. No doubt we had.
So we've been up Rough Tor, it was lovely, and now we're having second breakfast, because we've already had one breakfast. Our second breakfast is going to be pancakes, and we're in our favourite spot. This is where we often come for a picnic on Bodmin Moor. And I have to be gluten-free and lactose-free, and I've got this fantastic dairy-free, gluten-free pancake shaker from Morrison's, which basically you just fill up with milk, give it a good shake, and then you cook them. And we've tried it once at home and it worked really well, so hopefully it will work just as well today. All I've got to do now is see where the fill line is, of course, but there you go. This was going to come out the pan quite nicely. There we go, that looks quite good actually, doesn't it? Not too bad. And a little bit of golden syrup, not a lot, a little bit of golden syrup. Bon appetit!
You're tricking me in million ways. Baby, say how we're still the same. Again and again and again. So I held you close, hoping you'd crack and leave. 'Cause I only fall in love with things I feel. If you ask me now, I'm happy that you're gone. And I'm so much happier now on my
On Bodmin Moor there are a number of stone circles. We were actually reading up about these the other day and we watched a video about them, and most of them, it seems, are to do with sacred rituals from the olden days being the Iron Age or the Bronze Age. A lot of the Bodmin Moor has also been mined for copper and tin mining as well.